And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. Interesting story about volcanoes and an interesting seismic uptick. We've got pretty low levels of solar activity here, at least with respect to the previous couple of days. Here's 171 angstroms from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. So some interesting stories to cover here. The solar flaring has been kind of low. Don't be surprised to see major flares coming, especially from these regions up here. They are very complex sunspot groups. We've got a group setting and a group rising. As solar cycle 25 continues to ramp up with higher highs and higher lows. Here's your solar colorized magnetogram. Again, these two areas right here, these two sunspot groups are by far the most likely places to produce major flares. They've been somewhat underperforming, and as they approach the western limb, they become more and more likely to produce significant flaring. Some new regions rising here. This one up here is a sunspot, I believe. We'll cover that in a later video. We'll be doing 3 space weather videos today, as we do regularly. Here's one of the great wavelengths to view flares. It's 131 angstroms. Also from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. Once again, flaring has been underperforming based on the number of sunspots. The radial flux now at 167 solar flux units, and if this latest bottom is the bottom, that's a very high low. So you can see higher highs and higher lows coming up as solar cycle 25 ramps up. It's a couple years ahead of schedule, and it's looking like an exciting and fascinating solar cycle indeed. And you know what's interesting also, folks, about astronomy and cosmology and so on, is that astrophysics is starting to look more and more like astrology for reasons I will not get into in this video. Let's go to the Space Weather Enthusiast dashboard next. By the way, that's a 1-year chart. The black line is the radial flux. The red line is the sunspot number. So here's your Space Weather Enthusiast dashboard. We did have a brief period of geomagnetic unrest late last night on May 21st. Besides that, again, things pretty calm here. It was from magnetic fields and a coronal hole high-speed stream. We are still seeing a high-speed coronal hole wind stream at 510 kilometers per second. And let's talk about seismicity, some interesting earthquakes over the past 24 hours indeed. So first of all, we had a 6.1 at the Philippines. That came in at 2150 yesterday. That's 2150 universal time. There's the location of that 6.1. And there was also a 6.3 at the Fiji Islands. That came in at 7:06 universal time this morning on May 22nd. There's the location of that. It's nearly 600 kilometers estimated depth for that one. Likely to be felt by precisely nobody. Also, Hawaii had an interesting earthquake here at a 4.5 magnitude. Leave us a comment if you felt it. It's not under any of the major volcanoes. It's kind of at the lower slopes here, but anyway, that's the location of it. And it looks like it's in a somewhat populated area there. Pretty mountainous. Maybe not felt by many, but again, leave us a comment if you felt that quake. It was a 4.5 magnitude. It came in at 9:49 this morning on May 22nd. Also some interesting polar earthquakes. This 4.5 near Svalbard, or well north of Svalbard, at 84.218 degrees north latitude there, very close to the North Pole. And then this one in extreme northern Greenland. That was a 4.1. The one in the Arctic Ocean was a 4.5. And let's not spend too much time on this and scroll up the list. You can see some aftershocks from that quake in between New Zealand and Fiji showing up there on the map as well. So a bit of an uptick here in earthquake activity, certainly. And remember, folks, any earthquake can be a foreshock. So if you're in an earthquake-prone zone, remember that fact. Know which building facades may collapse. Have a bug-out bag. Know what will happen if the power goes out. Have a generator. Have a battery backup for certain things. Certain essential features of your living situation, right? And attempt to be an asset, not a liability, in the event of a disaster. Helping to mitigate disasters is the Smash Team at smashamesh.com/SmashTeam. Throw us a few bucks per month. Give Smash staff a raise by becoming a gold, silver, or gold annual paid-up subscriber at the Smash Team, smashamesh.com/SmashTeam. And look for some changes coming there soon. We've decided we're going to write the paper about the solar sunspot cycles and the mechanism that underlies them for Gold Smash Team members only. So that's a feature coming up soon. We're going to slowly write the paper specifically for Gold Smash Team members. So that should be interesting. We're going to divulge all of the recently discovered, the eureka moments that we've come upon as a result of our deep dive into heliophysics, astrophysics, and more. Today's featured product is Mensa. Make Earth Not Suck Again. It's up to you. It's a message of personal responsibility. And thanks for leaving comments. One Audio. Good morning to you as well. Mensa. Make Earth Not Suck Again. If you've noticed, terrible decisions by certain bureaucrats have been making the planet suck over the past couple of years. I demand accountability. What about you? But, more importantly, I'm doing my part to make Earth not suck again. So help us out on that mission. Again, give Smash staff a raise by picking up some merch. You've got floor pillows. You've got comforters. All kinds of different shirts. I want to see an outfit consisting of the leggings and the A-line dress, by the way. Let us know if you've picked up anything, and we'll be happy to feature imagery of you on the channel if you like. Thanks again to everybody who supported us via merch purchases. You can find links at the homepage at smashamesh.com, so welcome to the Neo-Renaissance. Right there's a link to the Smash merch. There's a link to the Smash team. There are also additional links to YouTube and Twitter and Gab and PayPal and Minds, and a permanent invite to our Discord chat. If you want to send me an instant message, do it via Discord. We're also on Instagram and Patreon and Facebook. We've even got a Facebook group. There's another link to the Redbubble shop down there at the bottom of the page at smashamesh.com. We decided to build our own servers because of pathetic censorship on Facebook in 2018. By 2019, we had our own servers at smashamesh.com. Take a moment to press like and subscribe and leave us a comment if you haven't yet done so, especially if you're new to the channel. We want to know where you're located, how you found us, etc. And thanks for tuning in. Let's talk about the ultra-low velocity zone below Hawaii. Yeah, there's an ultra-low velocity zone near the outer core/lower mantle boundary. It's a place where seismic waves move very slowly through this section of material, about 900 kilometers in length underneath the Hawaiian plume. So directly under Hawaii, there's an ultra-low velocity zone. It's kind of weird. And maybe it's giving us some insight into geophysics. So there's also another low velocity zone, a much larger one, but there's an ultra low velocity zone under the Hawaiian plume and under Hawaii. So interesting article today on SciTech Daily about that. If you want to check it out, scitechdaily.com. And here's the article. Puzzling features deep in Earth's interior. What do you think Earth's interior is made out of? I have my doubt that it's made of nickel and iron, but hey, it does certainly behave with certain characteristic features. Features that look like metals. So anyway, I'll just let the article scroll here real quick. The ultra-low velocity zone below Hawaii. It's super interesting. As is what's going on under the crust of the Earth, because we've only ever drilled down about 16 kilometers, if I remember correctly. Are there superionized materials inside the planet? I'll just leave it at that and move on to do a volcano report. And before I do that, let me check the life of the stream, and it looks A-OK. Subanosejima is erupting. It's produced an 8,000-foot ash plume, flight level 080 over Subanosejima. Cinnabung has had its alert level drop from a level 3 to a level 2. It's currently calm. It's a dangerous volcano located on the Isle of Sumatra, Indonesia. So a little bit of a downtick there at Cinnabung. Semeru exploding, flight level 130 over Semeru. It's a 13,000-foot volcanic ash plume. Volcanic ash not seen from Fuego. Don't assume it's not erupting and decide to pole vault the caldera. That could be unhelpful. Nevado del Ruiz exploding, flight level 200 from the 20,000-foot ash plume being produced over Colombia from Nevado del Ruiz. Sangay exploding, flight level 210 over Ecuador from Sangay. Not sure if Revenador in that same country of Ecuador is erupting or not. Sabancaya continuous emissions. No indication of the volcanic ash plume size if there is one. Thanks for tuning in to the Daily Space Weather. And may that solar wind be at your back.